Hey, this is a message to my friend Mark Nelson. I know you may think I'm crazy or paranoid or whatever. I don't care. You can think about me whatever you want to think. Um, but I do want to let you know that this is what I really believe. And I mean, I do believe that taxation is theft and it's violence. I do believe it's immoral. I do believe in taking care of other people. You know, as a fellow liberal, I'm a former liberal, but as a communist, I believe that people should be taking care of each other. I believe that nobody can really do it on their own. So that's why I'm an anarcho-communist. Is that I believe that government should get out of communities and let communities help each other. It's as simple as that. You know, let the people in the neighborhoods take care of each other, and it doesn't seem crazy to me. Uh, what seems crazy to me is that you have the system of, you know, the entitlement system we have. While it's a good idea, you know, taking care of each other, I can get behind that. But the entitlement system is based on theft. The only way we can really have, in my view, the only way we can really have a true system where people are taken care of and all needs are covered is by abolishing government. You know, you gotta get rid of government. It's got to happen. Otherwise, you're going to have people, like very, very select number of people at the top, are going to be able to decide for everybody else how they're going to live their life, um, how much to pay, and I disagree with that. I think that nobody should be allowed to be in control of anybody else. All humans, regardless of where we live, are equally entitled to all of the Earth's natural resources. So that's sort of the basic premise of where I'm coming from with anarcho-communism, is that I believe that all people should have equal access and have an equal right, as basically their birthright, you know, to the technologies, to the goods of the planet. And if you take that as a principle, which I do, you would say you'd have to basically get rid of currency. You'd have to get rid of money. You'd have to get rid of governments, because governments do nothing more than perpetuate a system of ownership. Do nothing more than perpetuate a system of greed, maliciousness, false premises, and they'll do things that are good. I mean, you got public education, generally pretty good. I mean, they do indoctrinate, but on the whole, public education is pretty good. Welfare, on the whole, is actually pretty good. My only complaint with welfare is that it's based on more of like an Excel spreadsheet than a real person-to-person determination of who needs help. And the welfare system can become enslaving in its own, because it creates a culture of dependence. So I like the idea of taking care of everybody, and I like the idea of being a liberal, right? With the exception of I can't stand behind a government. I can't do it. It's just not, like, I can't see how people who consider themselves to be liberals can stand behind a government, because governments are inherently violent. Governments are evil. You know, they are evil. I know you think I'm crazy, but whatever. One day I just hope that, you know, you'll open your mind to the idea that perhaps things that you had considered to be good may in fact be evil, and that's the real evil in the world. Is when they do things that are bad for you, and they tell you that it's good, and you believe it, you know, because you're willing to then defend that evil. I can't abide by that. It just won't. It won't happen. I can't defend evil no matter who it is, whether they have a D next to their name or an R. I won't defend it. I particularly won't defend Obama anymore. I was a huge Obama supporter back in 2008, and now, like, look at him, man. He's gone fucking batshit with all of his drone strikes and NDAA and God and this gun treaty ban. I mean, I know you're pro gun control, but the reality is that as soon as you disarm a populace, the populace has no way of defending themselves when the government turns tyrannical. And just because you may claim that we have a constitution, constitutions don't mean anything. They don't. They are they're basically just a piece of paper that some guy or a few guys from 250 years ago, wrote down and said, "Hey, this is the law of the land." But as you've seen with like the Patriot Act, these guys have no respect for the Constitution, and any challenge that's going to come to bills that are going to violate the Constitution, those challenges aren't going to make it up to the Supreme Court. And the system is institutionalized, and constitutions mean nothing. They really don't. So, in that regard, statism, the idea that a government can take care of everything, doesn't work. And in my view, call me crazy, which I'm sure you will, but in my view, it doesn't work. So, anyway, I'd like to hear your response. I just kind of spitball in there. I think I think my ideas are actually pretty valid. I'd recommend if you're interested in hearing more and learning about what anarchism really is, rather than how I just explain it, because I'm not really the very best person to explain the anarcho-communist mindset. I'd recommend you check out some works from Peter Kropotkin, or Mikhail Bakunin, or Enrico Malatesta. They're all philosophers or anarchists from the late 1800s to the mid 1900s. Another one is Emma Goldman. They're all very good anarchist writers, and I'm sure if you just open up your mind to the concept of anarchism, I'm sure that we'll find some common ground. In fact, I can almost guarantee it. But just open up your mind to it. Don't come at it with a perceived bias of being statist, because as soon as you do, you've basically gotten rid of your critical thinking skills. Because you'll have what's called cognitive dissonance. You'll have this worldview that you've already got established, and anything that contradicts with that worldview, you will dismiss. And it may be true. You may be actually wrong in your worldview. And who knows? I wasn't really an anarchist until I really started reading about it. So I think it would be beneficial to both of us if you actually understood what anarchism is about, and understand that anarchism is really love for all of humanity, and it's not about people who just want to destroy the government. It's about getting rid of all forms of hierarchy and saying that nobody has any more power than anybody else. Based on their social situation, based on their the amount of money that they have, nobody should have any more power than anybody else. But I'm logging off. I just wanted to let you know that my thoughts, and try to show you how I don't consider myself crazy, but I may very well be crazy. Who knows? Okay. Anyway, later, man. Bye.